Baldi giovani e diversamente giovani, benvenuti in questo nuovo video quick nel quale parleremo di un promo che è stato prodotto nel 1995 nel periodo dell'uscita di X Factor ed è stato rilasciato soltanto in Italia, qui dalle nostre parti, in quanto era allegato al numero 14 di Thunder, una rivista parlava di heavy metal, che aveva come caratteristica quella di allegare un CD promozionale con la rivista. Infatti aveva un costo non particolarmente basso, quanto costava sulle 13-14 mila lire, perché all'epoca era il prezzo più o meno di un vinile, di un LP. Però aveva la caratteristica di contenere questi CD promozionali, a volte monotematici, a volte relativi a più canzoni di diverse band. In questo caso nel numero 14 uscì questo promo, che poi fondamentalmente era pressoché identico al CD bonus dell'edizione giapponese di X Factor, che conteneva le tre canzoni che erano state prodotte dagli Iron Maiden come B-side del singolo di Man on the Edge. Le tre canzoni che sono appunto Justice of the Peace, che dà il titolo al promo, I Live My Way e Judgment Day. In più, oltre a questo, nelle versioni inglesi di quel singolo era stata divisa in due parti un'intervista a Blaze Bayley, che qui in questo promo è stata rilasciata in versione integrale, tutta intera in una volta. Il CD si presenta semplicemente come un CD senza copertina, dentro una slim case. Nel retro non c'è niente di particolare, è semplicemente questo CD serigrafato che poi riporta le notizie dei titoli delle tre canzoni dell'intervista, il rimando al numero della rivista a cui era allegato e niente di più. Però è una cosa particolare, in quanto in quest'unico CD era possibile avere tutte le B-side dei singoli sparpagliati per le varie edizioni dei singoli di Man on the Edge, e soprattutto credo sia l'unica edizione in CD di I Live My Way, in quanto I Live My Way era la canzone, la B-side presente sulla versione in vinile di Man on the Edge. Bene, a questo punto direi che approfittiamo del fatto che c'è un'intervista per andarcela ad ascoltare, così sentiamo anche la voce di quel pacioccone di Blaze Bayley e sentiamo cosa aveva da dire nel 1995. Ci vediamo tra poco.
Hi, this is Blaze Bayley, the singer with Iron Maiden. You're going to see me and all the rest of the great geezers from the band in Thunder magazine. And we'll see you on tour soon. Yes!
How did you feel when you finally learned that you'd got the job in Maiden?
Relieved more than anything.
Because there was a bit of a while, where it was.
Well, I had to audition just the same as everybody else.
Right.
So I was probably not. I just thought. I didn't think really. I thought I had a chance as much as anybody else because I'm quite a determined person. But I thought, I'll never get it, because it's such a dream job. It's something that you think, well, no. So I was just relieved more than anything, that all the anxiety and worry and think, will I get it? Won't I get it? What am I gonna, So I just, it was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Just to make sure, it's me, yeah? You've found the right person, you sure? And then I just spent about 3 days getting completely drunk and staying drunk. So it was good. It was a relief more than anything. And then after a while, I just felt really good about it.
Did you have to sing a lot of songs, or was it?
I think we got to. It didn't seem like a lot. I remember the audition. It didn't seem like a lot of songs, but in fact, I think it was about 9 different numbers, and it was quite a cross section of Maiden material, with stuff like Hallowed, and Number of the Beast, and Clairvoyant, and Fear of the Dark. So it was all quite different stuff, that both Paul and Bruce had done. And I just remember being at the audition and thinking, well, even if I don't get it, at least I've got the chance to sing with Maiden and sing, 10 songs. And so I thought, well, I've got this far. I don't really care now. I'll just go for it and enjoy the fact that I'm actually singing with Iron Maiden. So it was good from that point of view, and it was really good. And we got to the end of it, and we were all looking at each other, going, "Isn't there any more? Was that it?" Because it just seemed to go like that, There seemed to be a real vibe in the room. Something was certainly clicking.
So when it came to actually settling in with a band, like it was. Did it take a while to adjust to it, or was it a case of sort of like, we're in there, this is it? Vibes there?
I think there was a little bit of a limbo period until we actually started working together, because even though it's like I was in the band, we hadn't done anything together. There were no shows planned, and the first thing we were going to do was start writing this record. And I think I was quite nervous at the time, but as soon as I got together with Yannick, the ideas I was thinking, will this work with Maiden, and stuff like that, the ideas that I'd got, but it just slotted straight in. And then when I started working with Steve, it was great as well, because he started, the style that he writes and the way he constructs his melodies and his songs, he uses a part of my voice that I would never usually use, but it's a part I'm always looking for. So it's quite fulfilling in that respect, because even though I spent 9 years in Wolfsbane, my previous band, and we'd made 5 albums, there was certainly something as we'd gone on that I was trying to find more character and something more individual about my voice that maybe I just touched on sometimes. But when we started working together in Maiden, writing the songs, and as the arrangements started coming together, it really felt like something was coming out of me. I was pushing myself a lot further, and it was very, very satisfying.
Did it take a lot of rehearsing before you actually started recording all that?
Weirdest thing I've ever done, because we got the songs together, and it seemed like Steve and Yannick, and they would go, we'll do this. Okay, that's ready. I said, well, we've only recorded it on the dictaphone. Aren't we going to do any demos? Oh, no, we're not doing any demos. We'll just go in and, we'll get everybody else to learn the arrangements, and we'll just record it. And so we were in the studio. We rehearsed up the first song. Okay, and a bit of drumming here. What do you think goes there? La-di-da-di-da. And I don't think we'd even got through it once without messing it up. And they all just said, okay, shall we go for a take then? And I was saying, well, don't you think we should get through to the end without stopping? Oh no, just get the tape rolling. So we all went up and got the tape, and so like everybody's on edge going, oh yeah. But there was, I don't know, in a way, I think when you do demos, a lot of the time, you can lose the excitement of the song. And I think because the first time that we'd get it right, and it really worked, that was the take that we were going to use. There was a little bit of electricity there, certainly. So it worked really well. I mean, sometimes we'd get it right and it just wouldn't feel. You would think, well, what's that all about? It's all played perfectly, but just lacks that little bit of energy or certain something. And then other times, it really clicked. So it was good from that point of view.
The album's co-produced by Steve with Nigel Green. I mean, Nigel's record speaks for itself, but what's Steve like to work for as a producer? Is he sort of a whip cracker, or does he sort of like just let everyone get on with it?
He's good and bad. It's it's like a tragi-comic love affair when Steve is producing and you're doing your part, because he will encourage you and he'll go, oh, that sounded good, but he will also, when he feels like it, or if he thinks the performance is there to come, you will make you do the same thing so many times until you forgot what it's about, But in essence, I'd say as a producer, he's really good because he never forgets what the song is about. He never looks at things from a purely technical thing, and he always makes you feel like the musician is more important than the equipment, which I think when you're in the studio, it's very easy for for the technocrats to take over and say, oh yeah, we've got this computer doing that, we can use these effects, this song, and forget that in essence what music is about, and especially the style of music that Maiden do, what that is about is actually reaching to people. It's speaking to people, you know, and that's why I think the band has got, it's a live band because that's the ultimate place for that, you know, for saying, from, you know, when you're in on stage or when you're in a gig, then it's, I think the vibe with Maiden, it's much less, it's not we are the band, you are the fans. I think it's more like, yeah, we're all here together to get the most out of tonight and really enjoy ourselves. So from that point of view, I think that Steve doesn't forget that when he's in the studio. And well, that I really like working like that, because I always imagine when I'm singing, I always try and think, right, what's this going to be like live? You know, when we're on stage, what's it going to be like? And I'm really looking forward to doing Sign of the Cross and some of the other ones live.
The new artwork is, although it's Eddie, it's a radical departure from what I've done in the past. Was that a conscious decision when the artwork was being thought of, or did it just sort of like move that way? Well,
it was, I think, a conscious decision in one way. Certainly when not long after I joined the band and I was talking to Steve about what I thought about the artwork, I think we certainly thought along the same lines there, that there's no way you could really kill Eddie. I mean, after all, he's the undead, so so you're not going to be able to kill him off. And really, I really like Eddie, and I like what he stands for, and the kind of, you know, the antagonistic dark side of what he represents. So you can't really lose Eddie, but as well, Eddie has to do something. He has to come from somewhere else. I mean, this is a new lineup, and it's going to be like hopefully a new beginning and for Maiden. So I think that was in our minds. And then the guy that they'd had a couple of things sent in that Steve had looked at and wasn't particularly impressed with, and then he phoned up the guy who finished up doing the artwork, and when they said, oh, we want you to come up with some ideas for the next Maiden album, he said, I've been waiting for this phone call for 5 years. So I thought, well, it's going to be good if he's been into the band and waiting to do it. So and it's come out really well. I think it's probably going to be quite controversial, but I don't think in all the time I've been following Maiden, I don't think they've ever shied away from controversy or being or confronting people.
Finally, touring. I mean, after spending months recording, you must be looking forward to getting out on the road. Like stage show wise or presentation wise, how are you going to be different? How's it going to be different from like previous shows and singers' performance? Like I know you like you experiment with ear monitors and stuff like that. So is there anything you've sort of like thought about that?
I think what we're doing is we're certainly going to we're changing the monitor system on stage. Is one of the first things that we're doing, so that when we're playing small, we've got a monitor system that's going to take up less of the room on the stage, and also the PA, just as powerful. I think it's even a bit more, it's a bit louder, the PA that we're going to use, but it's going to be a bit smaller. So in fact, more people will be able to see us, and we'll have a bit more room on stage. And also, I think Maiden have the last couple of tours, they've like with No Prayer and stuff, they've stripped down and stripped it right down to backdrops and things like that. And I think there's certainly a feeling in the band now that we want to come out with a show and really say, yeah, we're here, and to give people something to look at, and a memorable evening with Iron Maiden, certainly. So I think it's going to be a very enthusiastic performances on tour. And we can't wait to get out there, really, because we've taken so long making the album and doing the promotion and everything, that by the time we do get out, it's just going to be insane. It's just going to be like one of those fairy story dragons lying asleep in the cave, waking up incredibly hungry, breathing fire. We're about to go and trash the local town and eat all the virgins. So that's what it feels like at the moment. When we get out there, I'm sure it's going to be insane.
Eccoci di nuovo dopo l'intervista a Blaze. Direi che con questo, per questo promo particolare uscito solo da noi, è tutto. Grazie per essere stati con me fino a questo punto. Up the Irons sempre.